Hello, everyone, and welcome to PR Connections at prconnectionsradio.com, the voice of new media. My name is Guy Dawson, and I am your host. And I am here with a prominent member of the entertainment industry, Emmy recognized producer John Fondy. Welcome to PR Connections, John.
Well, Guy, thanks so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to do this broadcast, and thanks for having us on.
I know we are always thrilled when we can have people who do interesting things. John and I have been working on some projects recently, and I have just gained so much respect for what producers go through when they're putting together things. And I wanted to have him come on to talk about his journey as a producer and the day in the life of someone who creates these wonderful shows that we all watch and love. So yeah, greatly appreciate having you on the show, John.
Well, thanks so much, man. So fire away, baby.
Tell us about your background. How did you get into the entertainment industry?
I was in Palm Springs, California. I grew up in California, and I was in Palm Springs, and I basically was in business. And I thought to myself, I can do this when I get old. I want to do something that's fun. And I guess I was always a class clown, when I was growing up. And so I thought, well, hey, I think maybe I should try my hand at acting. So I took the top down on my white convertible Cadillac. I threw a scarf around my neck, put on my sunglasses, and I drove into Hollywood. And I said, Hollywood, I'm here. Hollywood said, so what? And I started my whole career from there. So I spent 20 years in Hollywood, and now I'm in Las Vegas for celebrating my 21st year here in Las Vegas. I started out as an actor and was an actor for quite some time. And then somebody said to me, if you think you can do it better, why don't you do it yourself? And I was dumb enough to say, okay, I will. And so I drifted over into the production side of things. I started producing television and got my hand in a few movies, but finally just really couldn't stand LA anymore. It was just a tough place to live and a tough place to work and an expensive place. And so I decided to look around and ended up here in Las Vegas. And guys, this is a great town to work in. And everybody wants to come to Las Vegas.
Entertainment capital of the world, as we say.
Undisputed entertainment capital of the world.
Tell me about what it was like to be an actor.
Well, it was a lot of rejection. And I think that's the one thing people don't realize, that you've got to understand that probably 80% of the time, maybe even more in the beginning, you're going to be rejected. And you have to understand that it's to not take it personally, because it's the casting director and the producers and the directors. I just wasn't right for what they're looking for. It doesn't mean I wasn't a good actor. I just wasn't right for what they were basically looking for. So you basically dust yourself off and go out to the next audition, and pretty soon you start nailing them, and your confidence level goes up. And the big thing is you're in class every single day and every night. And so people say, John, why did you move to Hollywood? Why did you want to be an actor? And I say, well, I wanted to get a good job as a waiter. And anyway, that's what we do. We work during the nighttime, and we audition and go to school on the in the evenings. So that's kind of what we do.
What surprised you the most getting into the whole Hollywood environment, living in LA? What was, out of everything, experiences that you had, what stood out as something that really surprised you about the whole scene?
What surprised me really the most was how hard, it was really hard work growing my career, but more so that learning how to grow my career, because I didn't take theater or journalism or anything in school. So I came in quite cold. So I had to learn the entire business, and I got lucky. I landed a Jordache jeans commercial within my first 60 days, which is highly unusual. And then I started landing stuff, and I just basically kept an open mind. I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I just did everything until I was able to figure it out. And so now I have a chance to be in front of the camera. That's the one of my left or right brains, and the other one is the cerebral side. And so I get a chance to direct and produce, and it's really quite rewarding. And so I'm still going strong there after 41 years in this business. They haven't kicked me out yet.
That is amazing to have survived in the entertainment industry for 41 years. Is there a part of your personality or your makeup that's built for this, do you think, that makes you uniquely able to deal with the ups and downs that come with being in entertainment?
Well, I think with anybody, you have to be outspoken, and you can't really be shy. And in some cases, you have to be rather fearless because of everything that's going to be thrown at you. And if you are shy and you are scared, you got to learn not to show it, and go in and nail your craft. And it's practice, practice, practice. And that's the one thing about it, because when you get up to the plate, all those fastballs that you've been hitting in practice, they're going to throw that fastball right down the pipe, and you better be ready to hit it out of the park. And that's where it all goes from. And, I was also, fortunate that I went on to land a role on The Young and the Restless, and was there for 8 years and did practically every episodic television part that there was, and mostly stayed in television. Didn't do a whole lot of movies, and I didn't do any theater at all, that's a real good stage to learn on, but there's just no money in it, and it takes a lot of hard work. So I chose television, and so far that's worked pretty well for me.
Tell us about that. What was it like being a part of a daytime series?
Well, again, like I said, you've got to be ready for anything. And one of the classes that I was taking was a class where actors would actually come to the class and be directors, and directors would come to the class and they would be actors. And the whole idea behind that was so that actors could understand what directors go through, and directors could understand what actors would go through. And so after a class, the instructor said, "John, can I see you after class?" And of course, I went right to the dark side. Oh, I'm getting kicked out of class. I'm horrible. I'm getting kicked out of class. And he goes, "Hey, you really have a liking for this business, don't you?" And I go, "Yeah, it is." He goes, "Well, it really shows." He says, "I want you in my office tomorrow morning at 6:00. I said, "Okay." And so then I decided to look him up and see who he was. And he was the director of The Young and the Restless at CBS in Beverly Hills. And so I showed up at CBS at 6:00 in the morning and went into his office, and he said, "Come with me." He took me into the producer, whose name is Wes Kenny, a very dear friend of mine, was at that time. And he said, "Here's your next intern." And Wes Kenny said, "That's great. When can you start?" I said, "I can start right now." Handed me some scripts and said, "Go pass these out." And I had no idea where the studio was. I didn't have no idea where the dressing rooms were. So every day at 6:00, I'd show up CBS, do my thing. And then at nighttime, I had a nightclub act, so I would go work in the nightclub, get home at 2:00 in the morning, sleep for about 4 hours, and I'm back at CBS for 6 months, and so finally, the one day the casting director came in and threw a script down on my desk. He said, "You're in," and I spent another 7 years uh, on the show. So it was really, it was great. I mean, a lot of hard work, a lot of time to put in, but pretty good calling card. And then I went on from there to be a newscaster, television newscaster, in the number 2 market in the United States. And so I learned that craft, and 3x5 card and a microphone, and you could turn me loose. And like Guy, we learned to think on our feet, and learn to engage the client that we're working with. So it was awesome. It was awesome. And then I met so many great people in Hollywood, and it was a great life. I would not recommend it to anybody, because it's go get an education and see where that leads you, and let the chips fall where they may. But I'm very blessed to be where I'm at now, and kind of on the home stretch here in Las Vegas, the undisputed entertainment capital of the world.
What did it feel like to be a celebrity? You're on TV for 7 years. You're a newscaster, people coming up to you, asking you for autographs and things like that. What was that like?
It was pretty surreal. I was never a celebrity. I just worked a lot. So I had a lot of people who would come up to me and say, "Hey, you look familiar. Are you on TV?" They might not know where they saw me or something, but they would, they know that they recognize me from somewhere. And so I played on the Hollywood All-Stars, which was a celebrity softball team. We traveled around the world doing charity events, and before the game, we would be walking along, and we would be signing programs, and in the program, we would have our picture and our bio in it. And so I would sign my autograph and thank the people for coming out. And then I'd look back at them, and they'd be going. So I had a lot of fun. Worked with some great actors. Tony Danza became a real good friend of mine. He's a great athlete, and I worked with Joey Banks, the son of Ernie Banks, the famous Chicago Cubs shortstop, and some great stories. I'll tell you, I could tell stories for days.
I could imagine traveling all around with all these celebrities, and it sounds like so much fun and very interesting experience.
And the one thing I noticed, that the bigger the celebrity is, the cooler they are, the nicer they are, the more they want to help you. It's the people that think they're a celebrity, that think they're above people or better than and stuff. And I just swore to myself, hey, this is a job. If I don't make it in 4 years, I'm going to go back to the salt mines. And so I think it was 3 years, 11 months, 29 days, things started kicking in. But I almost left. Hollywood. And so what did I do? It's like what anybody else would do. I bought a sailboat. And when I got out in the ocean in Santa Monica Bay and could look back on it, I realized this was my escape. And it was my safe zone, my safe place to after working all day, run down to Marina Del Rey, jump in the sailboat, and head out to Santa Monica Bay, and eventually moved to Catalina Island. And now I'm in Las Vegas, and it's got some great stories. It's things that are going on here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, very different environment. I'm being from Southern California myself, grew up in Long Beach, and you've got that whole water element. And then you have the other extreme where we're living out here in the middle of this desert. A lot different, isn't it?
It is. Fortunately, LA is so close, and particularly during the summer, I'll go back to LA every 3 weeks, and I'll usually spend 2 days visiting clients and studios down there. Then I'll spend the afternoons and then a full day at the beach in Marina Del Rey. Next week, I'm actually headed to Newport Beach, And so I'm working with one of our new clients. It's Comisario Tequila. Sometimes you get the good jobs, man. And they have hired our firm to basically rebrand their company and put them on the face of the map. And it's absolutely the best ultra premium tequila. They're located in Southern California in Orange County. And so I handle all their television, all their social media, the Vegas TV production, and the Las Vegas Television Network. We're a full service production company that provides production services, post-production services. We're also a distribution company, and we're a social media company. So we handle it all. And something that's kind of unique about our company is that we can guarantee with our programs, we can guarantee that if you want to, we can put you on national television. We can guarantee that you will appear on national television. And we have in-house financing as well. So we've kind of really put together the whole Megillah here right now. And so we're happy to be on the campus where our studios and offices are right here at UNLV. And it's great working with the students and the faculty and the graduates here. And it's a great community environment. And, you know, Las Vegas is one of the biggest little towns in the world. And everybody loves to work with UNLV.
Yes, it's a great experience. Of mentioned earlier, a podcast. I've been working on a project called Las Vegas Speaks, and we're with the Nevada office, and it's just incredible to see the way that the community can make things work, the way that you are doing it, especially as you've been mentioning, we're in the entertainment capital of the world. UNLV is walking distance from the Strip, where you've got just some of the most amazing entertainment, world-class entertainment, and what a natural fit. When we first started working with you on the shows, I just thought, what a brilliant concept. I haven't seen anyone do it in all these years, but you guys have really dialed in and created a nice niche for yourself.
Well, yeah, it's so true. And having the Las Vegas Television Network, it's all Vegas all the time. It gives us a chance to really take Vegas into everybody's home, no matter where they might be in the world. And that was so prevalent during the pandemic because everybody wanted to go to Las Vegas, but they couldn't. So we gave them a release, if you will, to take that vacation and come to Las Vegas. And all of our programming on the Las Vegas Television Network is Vegas themed, or things to do in and around Las Vegas. And so we've been broadcasting 24/7 now for about 5 years. We came out of beta testing about 3 years ago, and it's so if somebody wants to take a trip to Las Vegas, am I allowed to tell people how to find us?
Absolutely.
You can go to the Las Vegas Television Network.com, the Las Vegas Television.com, or VegasTVProduction.com, and you can actually see the live broadcast and all of that. I'll tell our viewers out there, we had mentioned earlier, Guy, that there might have been some connection challenges that we're going through with the heat kicking in here. So if we're a little choppy out there, we apologize. It's kind of what happens as we reacclimate a little bit. So I'll leave that up to you, Guy. You probably see and hear more of this broadcast right now than I do.
The adventure we're in it because people are one leg in, one leg out, maybe, is the way that I kind of describe society. It's just been what a journey, but thank you for entertainment. There's one I didn't, John. You talked about this from an actor. You had the
Guy, I don't know if you can hear me, but you're pretty frozen and pretty broken up. So I didn't understand that last question. So we've got a little bit of time left here, not knowing where we're going to go with it, or whether I'm still on the air. You feel free to interrupt me, but I'm going to just kind of keep this broadcast kind of going here a little bit, just in case people can see and hear me. But we're in the Greenspun College of Journalism and Media Studies here on the campus. Looks like you may be back now, Guy. I don't know if you rebooted, but go ahead and take it from here.
Can you hear me now?
Much better, just like we started out. Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, the question that I was asking you was, you hear about actors all the time who transition into becoming directors or producers. And the question that I wanted to ask you was, how do you learn to do that? Because it seems like they're very different skill sets, being someone in front of the camera and being behind the camera. How did you figure that out?
Well, there's three facets of that. There's the talent, which I was talent for the longest time. And then I've found myself in a position where I produce and direct in many cases at the same time. And so you go to school, you learn it. I went to USC, and I went to the George Lucas School for Film. It's where I learned a lot of my behind the camera opportunities and challenges. And producing is you're just a glorified babysitter, and you're just in charge of everything. And you've got to be you got to stick to budgets and time frames and things of that nature. And as a director, you're really trying to get the talent to be as natural as they possibly can, make them feel comfortable, and bring that natural talent out that they have. The definition of an actor, Guy, is the ability to portray reality. And the sooner you can get to that particular point of being sincere, and being calm and all that, that's where your skills really come out. And you don't have to be a screamer or a crier or any of all that dramatic stuff. You just have to deliver your craft the way that the writer anticipated it, and understanding. Sometimes taking a writing class will help you think about what's going through the writer's mind as a director and a producer. That same thing goes for that as well.
What types of projects are you working on over there at Las Vegas TV? What are some of the important things in the entertainment capital, stories that you're telling?
Because so many of the showrooms closed down, a lot of showrooms are opening back up, but there's a lot of showrooms that stayed closed. So there's a lot of new shows that are coming to Las Vegas. So we've got a pretty good reputation in town. So we're shooting the trailers and the commercials for all these different stage shows that are out there. That's what we're doing this weekend. And then next weekend, we're shooting a live pay-per-view concert in one of the hotel showrooms. And then later on this month, we're doing another outdoor concert. It's a nonprofit concert for the World Music Day, which is on the 21st of June. So we kind of dipped over into that area. But we do reality shows. We are currently producing a game show here at UNLV called Opening Arguments. We do talk shows, just like we're doing Vegas Speaks, your show. It's a great community show, and we'll have people that will call us out of the blue and ask us, to do all kinds of different projects. We just shot a downloadable DV that people can watch with their dogs at home, and so it's never a dull moment. In fact, I literally have to look in my phone every day when I wake up, Guy, to figure out what I'm going to be doing that day. And what a blessing that is to always have something that you look forward to every day, even when there's so much going on. You don't know what you're going to do. It's awesome, and I tell people, I mean, Las Vegas has become the new Hollywood. Everybody from Hollywood is moving to Las Vegas because it's such a film and television friendly area. We've got some of the best backdrops that you can have here in Las Vegas. And I encourage somebody, if they want to get in the business, Las Vegas is a great place to start. Everybody's trying to go from Las Vegas to Hollywood. I did the reverse, and I'm really glad I made that decision. So we're getting close to the end of our time here, Guy. Go ahead and ask any last questions you might want to have.
Yeah, well, there was a point that you touched on, John, that I think is important in the variety of what you do, the different types of shows that you direct and produce, and that you kind of already answered it. That's really kind of a thrilling experience, isn't it? The show that we're producing over there is much different than these other shows that you've described, and working with the young people, mentoring them. It seems like it would be a very rewarding experience, the whole development of the concept of Las Vegas TV.
Well, it is, and the students are just so grateful to actually get to grab a hold of this, because of course they're at the university, but we give them real Hollywood experience. So they get a note for their resume. They get to work on a real Hollywood set, see real problems, fix real problems. And then when it's all said and done, I give them a little paycheck. So it's really rewarding for us and rewarding for them. And when our clients find out we're working with the students, they really want to contribute. They want to really help the program and get involved with it. And I tell the students, I say, you are going to have a problem today. You just don't know what that problem is, and we'll be ready for it. And I'm not going to fix the problem for you, but I'll certainly show you how to fix it. And that's one of the best learning experiences that you could get. And people ask me, why am I so good at what I do? And that's an easy answer, Guy. I've just made every mistake that you possibly could make, and fortunate enough to learn from them. And so we've got an arena here in Las Vegas where students can make mistakes, and I basically say, when they ask me, what if I make a mistake? What if I mess something up? I say, there's no mistakes on my set. You just promise to do it better the next time, and we'll be just fine.
Yeah, there's a mentality that really resonates with that. I think it's important that when you're embarking on something like you're doing, that definitely there is a mentality. And the thing is, the students are less likely to make more mistakes if they feel comfortable making mistakes. It's a strange thing about human beings. But I love what you guys are doing over there, John. And I wanted, again, to share what you're doing with the audience. One more time, will you plug your ventures? How can people connect with you if they potentially want you to come in and direct or produce a project for them, or take a look at some of the projects that you have out there?
Yeah, I think the best thing is to go to the LasVegasTelevisionNetwork.com. You can reach me at info@Vegas TV Production. Our studio number is 702-919-0435. And we'll bring you over to the facility. We'll give you the tour. We'll show you everything. And at that particular point, we'll sit down and figure out what it is, figure out what's a good, solid family budget that we can meet, and produce some good TV.
Well, thanks again for stopping by, John. Appreciate all for tuning in. The PR Connections show here at prconnectionsradio.com. Stay tuned for a host of new shows that we're going to be rolling out. to improve your streaming experience. Take care of yourselves. See you there.
Hey, thanks so much, Guy.